Hey y'all, welcome back to our very bookish channel. If you're new here, my name's Amanda and I run this channel with my friend Jen, and we just really love to talk about books. All of our content is book related, what we're reading, what we want to read, new releases coming out, reading vlogs, we got it all, book hauls, everything. So if that's something that you're interested in and you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button below so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
All right, today is the day. It's the 26th of December, and I was going to do some video in the Barnes & Noble. I picked up my pre-ordered Ruthless Vows, but they were crazy busy, and the other crazy thing is they ran out. Thankfully, I have pre-ordered it. I'm so excited. So excited. I cannot wait to start this, and I have a feeling it's going to go very, very fast, even though it's not too short. I didn't look at the page length yet, but it's just gorgeous, and I can't wait. So here we go.
I'm going to be starting to read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is the Barnes & Noble edition with the black cover. On the front, there is a quote here, and I'm assuming it's from the book, but it says, "You may not be a goddess, but nor am I a god. Despite our mundane lives, perhaps we make our own magic with words." So cute little quote here. I'm sure that will have some significance in the book. And then on the side, it just has Ruthless Vows and Rebecca Ross. And on the inside, there's these fun little pages. I don't know why they wouldn't have done teal to match the front, but it is really cute. And we have the same pattern on the back. I don't know how those differ from like the books with the white covers, but I just thought I would show you guys this version. So yeah, let's just start reading.
As I'm about to dig in to Ruthless Vows, I saw a quote. Well, not really a quote, just something that she says at the beginning. "For anyone who sought a different realm through a wardrobe door, who wrote a letter and is still waiting for a reply, or who dreams of stories and bleeds words." Of course, Narnia is referenced there, which is really cool. And she has all the chapter titles, which I love that she does chapter titles. And then at the very beginning, we start with Enva, which I'm very excited about because I love the mythology aspect, and I hope we get more of that story. And of course, little Grogu will be leading me as a bookmark. I thought the color scheme matched too. So here we go. I'm only 50 pages in, but I just got really happy because of what I just read, and Iris figured out a way she could potentially communicate with Roman Kit. And it's one of the things I loved about Divine Rivals is how they communicate through the letters. So it gives me a lot of hope of what is about to happen, and also the way she's doing it. I don't want to necessarily, I feel like I'm trying not to spoil some things, but I'm not going to say exactly how she's doing what she's doing because she doesn't have her typewriter, but she thought up a way, and I want to see what happens. Love it.
Hey y'all, it's the next day and it's freezing here. I had to run to Aldi to get a few things. There's just some things at Aldi, especially like their organic stuff, that I really like. So I had to run to Aldi, and I wasn't planning on filming, but I'm just feeling a certain way. I'm on page 150. And I'm just loving it. I just love this world. This is just such good writing, such a good world to be in, such good characters, and I'm really enjoying Ruthless Vows so far. It feels a lot like all the vibes are there that was in the first book. So here's a little spoiler if you have not read Vine Rivals, okay? So this is not a spoiler for Ruthless Vows because you figure this out very early into the book. But Iris and Roman are writing letters to each other again, and this time Roman doesn't know who Iris is, but Iris obviously knows who he is. And the letters thing is just so cute. I mean, who would have thought of magical typewriters that you can write letters to the other person that has the typewriter as long as they're near a closet or a cupboard or cabinet or an armoire. I just think that's so cute. I don't know, it's just such a cute book and I'm really enjoying it. So I am going to go into Panera because I'm starving and I need to get some more editing done, and then maybe I'll have time to read, but I'm still behind on the editing, so I'm trying to go in here and work a little bit, and I will catch up with you guys later.
All right, I read a bigger chunk than I intended to. I am creeping up on page 200, and there was a scene, I want to say it was around like 150, 160 pages, and obviously Iris and Roman are exchanging letters through their magical way again, though he doesn't know who she is. I'm trying to remember, and I don't want to give spoilers exactly how much I want to say. But there was a scene, and I'm not going to say what it is, and I wish I could have caught my reaction when I read it. But oh my God, I don't even want to say what it's about. But I just love these two, and I really hope that there's a good ending. But there was a scene around 160, and I really want to talk about it, but I feel like it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say anything. So just a quick update. I feel like I'm not reading very quickly. I feel like it's similar to what I was dealing with Iron Flame, where I feel really scared or apprehensive, I guess is the word that I'm looking for, that something bad's gonna happen. So I feel like I am going slower. Plus I've been really exhausted and working a lot. So I am off tomorrow. I'm probably going to read a chunk tonight. But there's a concern for what's going to happen to these two. So I'm going to keep going. So it's really cold outside, and I'm going to start a fire because that's the perfect way to get some reading done, is by a very warm fire.
quick update. If I look a little different, I got my glasses on. I just got up, so I threw my hair up and I'm just hanging out today. It is very cold outside and there's snow all over the roads. I have heard the plows going through, but snow's coming down, so nice cozy reading day. And I am currently on page 282. And so the book's starting to, I feel like, wind down a little bit. There is supposed to be some big event that's happening, and I think that's going to be the beginning of the end for this book. I do want to note that when I got to chapter 20, it's called A House That Knows What You Need. So far, that's been my favorite chapter of the book. I feel like that is a turning point in the book, and I just loved it so much. It was a really short chapter, it was really cute, but the thought of an idea of a house knowing what you need and kind of guiding you where you need to go was kind of cool. It reminded me a lot of A Court of Silver Flames, when the house that Nesta stays in and how she kind of bonds with the house and stuff will appear that she needs, and it just kind of reminded me of that. It's not that magical, it's nothing that dramatic, but the house kind of guides Iris to a place she needs to be, and I just thought that was a really cute, fun chapter, and it's been my favorite chapter so far in the book, but I'm having a really good time. I do hope to finish today. There is, I don't know, like around 400 pages, I think, in this book. Let's see. There's 417 pages, so I only have maybe 140 more pages, and I think I can get that done today in this book. So moving right along, and the next time I check in with you will be with my final thoughts, unless there's something crazy that happens that I have to talk about in these last 140 pages. Then I will check back in, but if not, then final thoughts will be the next clip.
So Rebecca Ross said on her Instagram that she was releasing on Spotify her song list that she played or inspired her for writing Ruthless Vows. And I was actually listening to it while I was reading, and I feel like it definitely goes very well with the story. A lot of instrumental, a lot of like classical type vibes, and a lot of music I was not familiar with, but the few that I was are like movie themes that she has in here. And funny enough, it was Batman is in here, or I should say Dark Knight, not Batman, but also the movie Pan's Labyrinth, which is one of my favorite movies. It makes me want to rewatch that movie. But for example, Dark Knight. So I just wanted to share that she has this list if anyone was interested, and very much gives the vibes of the book. So I was very happy to discover that. So I just finished the previous chapter, and I think something happened. I'm hoping it didn't happen without trying to give spoilers, but this chapter title makes me feel that I just don't want it. No. Right, chapter 52. I can't say anything. It's just, I would be giving up a spoiler, and I'm not okay. I finished, and I feel like the last, I don't know, 80 pages, because that's how many I had to finish today. They went by very quickly, very tense, very sad. I can't really say much because I feel like so much of it would be giving away spoiler. So I'm going to sit on everything I just read and process, and I will do final thoughts.
Hey guys, I have finished Ruthless Vows. This is a book that reads quickly. I think like a reasonable time frame to read the book would be 2 or 3 days if you have time to commit to reading for all of those days. I don't think it's a book you just sit and read in one sitting, but it is a book you can read over a course of a couple of days. It is YA, so the YA aspect of it makes it a little easier to read. I feel like the YA books can go by quicker and you can read them faster, so it is YA. I really recommend this if you want a quick read. Of course, you have to read Divine Rivals first. This is the second book of a duology. I just want to take a moment and talk about the cover. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition. I specifically put this book on hold and pre-ordered this book because I wanted the black cover. I just don't like it when the publishers will do one cover black background and one cover white background. I just don't think that it meshes well and goes well. I prefer them to stick to the same background color. So I just loved this edition much more. I feel like the white is just too much and it doesn't really like look good side by side with Divine Rivals. So I specifically bought this for the black cover. I think Barnes & Noble's probably all sold out of this edition, but you might want to check online and see if maybe if you want a copy with the black cover, if they still have it online. I'll try to link the Barnes & Noble website in the description below so you guys can just go to the website and see if they have one at your store close to you. But so yeah, this is the dust jacket, and then I showed you guys the inside of the book and the quote on the front. So very cute little edition. I don't know if the other editions have that or not, but I did also want to mention that this quote here on the front shows up in the book, and there are just several cute little quotes like that. This is actually in a letter that Roman wrote to Iris, so it's just a very cute book. I feel like this is highly recommended for YA. I feel like the stakes feel high enough that it will interest YA readers, and the romance is also appropriate for YA. There's no spice, and I just feel like this is much better duology, romance, fantasy, romantasy book for YA readers than the trilogy Kingdom of the Wicked that I just read. Not because Kingdom of the Wicked's not good, but because I felt like the explicit sexual content in that book was not appropriate for YA, but there is none of that in this book. This book I feel like is very much more appropriate for YA, and I would recommend it for the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds read. And I just think this is one of the best YA duologies that I've ever read. The world is very engrossing. Roman and Iris are so cute, and you're really rooting for them. In the beginning, you're following Iris's point of view, and I'm so glad that chapter 4, I think it was, you get Roman's point of view, so you're not left hanging too long as far as what's going on with Roman. So excited about that, and so glad that Rebecca Ross ended that suffering for me, because I was really concerned about what was going on with Roman. You're just picking up where Divine Rivals left off. There is still a war going on between the two gods, Dacre and Inva, and I'm not sure if those are real Greek mythology gods or if they are just gods that Rebecca Ross made up, but I can't remember. I feel like maybe I've heard of Dacre before, but see, I took a Greek mythology class in college, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I had engineering classes, I had high-level physics and very high-level math classes, so my electives like Greek mythology, I really just did the bare minimum, memorized what I needed to for the test so I could get an A in those easy classes and move on. I really wasn't like engrossing myself in them. I had to focus on my other studies. So although I got an A in that class, I really didn't retain a whole lot of the information. So I really can't remember. But I'm sure you can look it up if you're curious. There are two gods that are warring, Dacre and Inva, and the war's still going on, and you just follow the path of these two that just good characters that try to do what they can to take care of each other and to get the war ended so that there can be peace in their land. And it's just so very cute. The magical system I feel like is okay. I don't really love the magical system. There's not really a lot of it that you feel in the book. There's a few magical touches here and there, but I will say the magical typewriters, so cute. I love the idea of these two having magical typewriters and they can communicate just like in Divine Rivals. It's just, I thought that was just the best touch. Although the entire magical system I wasn't too like, you know, impressed with, the magical typewriters was just a great addition that kind of puts the magical system up just a notch for me. Overall, great book, highly recommended. And if you've also read the book, please, I'm dying to know what you guys think about this duology. I've heard a lot of people saying that they like Divine Rivals more than Ruthless Vows, and I kind of agree with that. Although for me, when I read duologies and trilogies, unless the books are very different, they're kind of all one story in my mind. I kind of just run them together as one story. So I guess if I had to pick, I liked Divine Rivals a little bit more just because the world was new to me and they were falling in love and it just felt just a breath of fresh air. But Ruthless Vows, like I said, continues the story and it's a wonderful book. So let me know what you guys thought.
So here are my final thoughts on Ruthless Vows. I've been thinking about what I really want to say as final thoughts, and I keep struggling with just how much I want to say without giving it a lot of spoilers away. And I did think maybe I should just say, you know, move along and just talk about it, but something just seems wrong if someone happens to click on the video where I would say something that would ruin this book, because there are several things that happen in this book that I feel, you know, some things before you read it, it changes how you would, I think, read this story. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I didn't want to talk about the things that happen in this book. As you saw the ending, I felt like this book was very emotional at many parts, and there are things that happen, and I wouldn't say it's an upbeat novel. I mean, it's about war, and war can be devastating on any community, and especially the way things are happening in this book, because there's gods involved and magic and things that, you know, we wouldn't experience per se every day, even in a war. I really did enjoy the moments that we got to experience Roman and Iris and the fact that they love each other, they're fighting to get to be with one another, and through it all. And I don't want to ruin the end, you know, do they end up together, any of that. And even though I said I was sad at the end, that doesn't mean they didn't end up together. I don't want to give that as a spoiler, but I just feel this one was a little more emotional and sad because the war is like head on. And I feel like there was a lot more away from the war in Divine Rivals, and I think that's why I especially loved that novel. And I don't want to compare them because I gave both 5 stars. I really love Rebecca Ross's writing. I feel she just has a way with words and how she sets up a story and how she paints the scene and how she describes things. I just love how she writes. I really want to read other books by her because I feel I would enjoy them, even beyond Iris and Roman and the God's War that she depicts here. I still feel that even though you do get more of the mythological aspect in this one, I still feel like I wanted more. And I don't know if I'm just being greedy or if they're just, you know, it's just the way it felt that there wasn't enough. I feel there's so much story that we don't know. And I don't know if she purposefully didn't go into that, if she didn't want to make it longer. You do get more than Divine Rivals for sure. You see a lot more with the gods. I wouldn't say as much with Enva. And I don't know how much I loved having a lot more of Dacre. When I asked for more, I wasn't necessarily wanting more of him because he's horrible. I really wanted more of Enva, and maybe that's why I feel the way I do. I don't feel like we got as much Enva as we did of Dacre. I feel like my final thoughts aren't going to be much because I really don't want to say or talk about the big things that happened in the book. And there was one part that just really got me, and I was just so emotional. There was a couple different parts, one for really good reasons and another for maybe not so great reasons, and I'm trying really hard not to give spoilers. It is not easy for me to not give spoilers. I usually just shut my mouth, and that's not really, you know, easy when you're trying to make a video. So I would really want to talk it out. I know my friend Hannah is reading it right now, and I can't wait to talk to her after she finishes it. So I am going to have to move on to another book and just wait for them to finish so that I can talk some things out. So I would highly recommend this duology. I think Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows are a great pair of novels, and highly suggest 5 stars for both of them. I love the world that she painted, and I'm very glad that I was introduced to these novels and I have read them. They are at the very top of my list of books that I've enjoyed. So until next time.